Hello and welcome back to X Krieg Gaming. I'm X Krieg, and today I am going to talk about another boarding action list that is available in White Dwarf. This time this is from the latest White Dwarf at the time of this video. It's from White Dwarf 486, which is the Strike Force Rhalion. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, which is for Blood Angels. Now this is a very weird list, but first let us check what the Blood Angels get. So you get everything that Space Marines get, and then this. You get +1 to advanced rolls and charge rolls, and then if a unit makes a melee attack and you charge before, was charged, or make a heroic intervention, then you get +1 wound roll, which is very good for melee, right? So basically this is a melee list, melee chapter, so we're going to make a mostly melee list. Right, now let's check the rules. The list building rule is you must include a Primaris Librarian, so this must be your Warlord and your HQ slot. You can't use anything else, that's fine. And then you cannot use any troops. Now at first I was confused, like what? You cannot use any troops. How are you going to control objectives? Most of your units are going to stand around at the objective and do nothing. However, there are ways to mitigate this. All right. So let's check the rules first. Sorry, there are rules adaptation, not no rules. This is the rules adaptation. Basically, no combat squad, but you do still need to split units into boarding squads, the same as usual. And then if you have an outflank ability, that does not work. That's fine. Other enhancement still works, and then you gain these this 2 enhancement. If you want, you can pick any of these 2 and from the universal ones. The first one is Ominous Onset. You can charge through other model, but you may not finish move on top of another model. This is quite useful, so you can hide your librarian behind some other units, and then it can charge forward. It's very situational though, because like from the list that I made, most of the time you would want the other unit, the units in front of the librarian, to charge instead of the librarian. So I don't know if this is useful. Might as well just get the +2 command points or the weapon upgrade from the universal enhancements. The next one is Overwatch attacks cannot be made against the bearer, but again, it's a librarian. Will you really charge using this? I doubt it, because you most likely will charge using the other units. So this is not very useful, I don't think, especially because this is only for the librarian, right? Yeah. Alright, next is the stratagems. The first one is Masterful Duelist, used in fight phase. Basically hit roll when your enemy is attacking you, hit rolls of 1 till 3 fails, regardless of any other ability. This is so good. This is so good, especially like if you're fighting, let's say, Custodes, where they hit on 2+. Now they have to hit you on 4+. Also quite useful when you're fighting against something with a lot of attacks. Let's say like Tyranids, Gene Stealers. The 5 Gene Stealers have like what, 25 attacks, 20 attacks, I forgot, but a lot of attacks, and you make them hit on 4+. Damn, that's a lot of misses. If the target is Terminator, you have to pay 2 CP instead of 1, but that's fine. If you're playing with my list, you won't be bringing Terminators anyway, but whatever, I guess, something nifty to have. Second one, Furious Momentum. This is very good, used in your fight phase, basically exploding 6. So if your 2-hit roll is a 6, you gain another extra hit. You still need to roll the wound roll for that, but still, exploding 6, really good for 1 CP. And then there's the Route Finder, used in fight phase. Basically, you gain +3 inches to your pile in and consolidation move. Could be useful, but very situational. Most of the time, I don't think you'll be using this. You'll be using this, definitely, and this. Arcane knowledge used in psychic phase can attempt to manifest one additional psychic power. You don't necessarily have to know that power, but it still need to be, the psyker still need to have access to that to be able to work. If they don't have access to that, right? I mean, if they don't know that power, this costs 2. Otherwise, if you know that power, this costs 1, right? And then there's self-reliant, 1 CP, used in movement phase. Select that unit until the next command phase. That unit can attempt to secure site, the secure site action as if it had objective secured. Now this is the thing here, right? You can, even though you don't have any troops, you can pay 1 CP and your troop can make an objective sticky. That's basically it. That's very useful. You will be using this, which means most of the time, I think, you will be using the +2 CP enhancement, because you'll be using a lot of CPs. This is very useful, this is very useful, and this, you will have to use this too, every turn maybe. Alright, and then the last one is Heroes All. I think that's correct, hopefully. It's 1 CP, used in Heroic Intervention step of opponent's charge phase. When your opponent is charging, you pay 1 CP and any of your unit can perform Heroic Intervention as if they were a character. Situational, but maybe useful in some situations. But yeah, most of the time you'll be using Self-Reliant, Furious Momentum, those two, and Masterful Duelist. There you go. That's the rules. Now let's check a sample list that I made. Here's a sample list that I made. Your warlord is definitely a Primaris Librarian, because you don't have any other choice. And then you can pick from all of this. I believe you can pick 2. Yeah, you have Smite and then 2 Librarius. Oh, 2 Librarius. Oh, but not Sanguinary. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, so that's why you have access to the arcane knowledge, basically, because you can pay 2 CP, right? And then you can cast anything from the Sanguinary Discipline. And then you pick 2 from this one. Pick whatever you want. I'm not going to give recommendation. I'm not familiar, or I will not be pretending to be familiar with any of these. For the elites, okay, again, because you don't have access to troops, you can only bring elites. You cannot bring fast attack, you cannot bring heavy support, most definitely. Although I think you can bring heavy. Oh no, wait. This overwrites the rules for the regular Space Marine boarding action list building limitations, right? So you can only bring elites, basically. So here we go. Blade Guard veterans. I would suggest bringing these Blade Guard veterans. These are 3 Blade Guard veteran, each with a mastercrafted power sword and storm shield. So they have 2+ armor save and 4+ invuln, and 3 wounds each. They will be pretty hard to kill, pretty hard to move, useful overall. So bring them. Give the sergeant a Neo Volkite pistol for mortal wounds. There you go. Although the chances are small, but at least you have a chance for mortal wounds. Or if you're fighting like tougher opponents, you can change it to plasma pistol if you want to. Heavy bolt pistol, I am not recommending this at all, because it only shoots once, only -1 AP, and only strength 4. This one, even though it doesn't have AP, at least it's mortal wound on a wound roll of 6. Oh man, it's on a wound roll of 6. Alright, never mind. Plasma pistol it is. The second unit here in elites is, in my opinion, the best unit a Space Marine list can bring for boarding patrol. It's the Centurion Assault Squad. It's so goddamn broken, if you ask me. Like, I think this is so broken because, let's see here, right? They have 4 wound each, toughness 5, armor save 2 plus. They don't have invuln, but who cares? You have like 12 wounds there and 2 plus save, right? And then, right, they have flamers, and not just 3 flamers, they have 6 flamers. Look at this, 2, 2, 2, 6 flamers. They have 6. So when you shoot 6 d6 flamer shots. Who cares if it's strength 4? Who cares if it's AP 0? 6 d6 on average, that's like what? 6 times 3, 18 hits. 18 hits, right? On an 18 hits, let's say on an average fighting a marine equivalent, that's like 9 wounds, and then they have to armor save that. Good luck. And that's on average. If you roll higher, you get more hits. Really good. And after that, you still shoot your hurricane bolters, which is 1 each, every one of them. 1, 2, 3. So you still have rapid fire 6. So after shooting this on average 18 attacks, and then you shoot this on an average, it's 18 attack. And if you're within 12 inches, that's 36 shots. God damn, man. That's so good. And then when you get closer and you hit them, look at the melee weapon. Look at the melee weapon. Look at this. Strength times 2. It's strength 10, minus 4, damage 3. You will kill anything. And remember, you still have the stratagems. Exploding 6. Furious momentum. Crazy. Centurion's Assault Squad. Bring this. Even if you don't have them, buy it. But I guess if you don't have Centurion Assault Squad, or if you don't like Primaris or whatever, well, you won't be playing this list anyway because you still need the Primaris Librarian, right? Other than a Centurion Assault Squad, you'll be bringing, this is my suggestion, is Death Company Marines, because they focus more on melee, right? And they have the +1 attack from Black Rage if they charge, or whatever it is, right? And they have the 6+ Feel No Pain. So quite useful, and then they focus on melee. But look at this, you only have like 480. If you really want the bonus stuff from boarding action, because in boarding action, if you have a 30 points difference with your enemy's list, you do gain an advantage, usually like extra CP or like an extra deployment zone or whatever. If you really want that, you can reduce this. You don't bring the Thunder Hammer, you just bring all Chainsword and Bolt Pistol. But I don't really suggest that because some lists will have less than 500 points. And if you're fighting those lists, this is useful. This is useless, right? So might as well just bring at least 1 Thunder Hammer. At least 1. If you want more, you can add more. See, you can bring up to 3. But I don't really suggest this because Thunder Hammers have like -1 to hit, right? So you'll be hitting less. You will be hitting harder though. So yeah, this is your choice. My suggestion would be like at most 2, like this. So it's 490. Yeah, that's my suggestion. You can change it around. Like if you need more shooty troops, you can throw away the Death Company Marines, and then you can add like, let's say, Death Company Intercessors if you want, right? And then give them this if you want melee too, or whatever you want, right? Auto bolt rifle, your choice. But that's only 460. Or you can throw away that and you put in either these, Veteran Intercessor or Vanguard Veteran. Vanguard Veteran does not have the... Yeah. It's your choice, basically. Or the Sternguard Veteran, whatever, if you have like old non-Primaris Marines, right? You can bring any of these. But that's my suggestion, the Death Company Marines, because they focus more on melee and have a Thunder Hammer. And yeah, I think that's it. That's the list that I would suggest. You can switch them around if you want, but yeah. Alright then, that was my video on Strike Force Rhalion. I don't know if this is good or not, but because you really need CP to be able to capture objective. But overall, it's a interesting list that they make. I do hope GW release more stuff like this in future White Dwarf. I mean, I know it's annoying for people to have to buy White Dwarfs to be able to get this kind of rules, but yeah, I'll be making this kind of video, so maybe if you don't want to buy White Dwarf, you can just check my video, and I'll try to keep up with the newest lists. Alright then, thank you for watching, and see you all next time. Bye!